Hi and welcome to part 9 of my vlog series while in Berlin. I hope the camera's focused because it's hard to tell on the small screen. So yeah, this week has been busy, but which I feel is something I say in every vlog, and I'm going to tilt this way so you guys can't look at the washing that's on the floor. Clean washing, but still folded on the floor and not put away. So yes, I'm still staying here with Halil from church and it's great, but I'm only here for 2 more days and then I'm moving on, which I'll talk about shortly. So it is Sunday night and it is 8 o'clock German time and I have my coffee, which is probably a really terrible idea because I want to sleep in 3 hours time, but we shall see. So yes, this week has been busy and challenging and there is a lot to talk about, so let's crack on. Monday we had work at the cafe. And I think Monday was the second Monday in a row where we somehow managed to have 3 people working in the evening, or thinking they were working in the evening. So my colleague Gizem, that had gone away on holiday for 3 weeks, somehow thought that she was working, so turned up, and there were 3 of us. And she did what I did the week before, which was work for an hour and then leave. I think she was there for even less than an hour, so that was half an hour. So I was working with my kind of relatively new colleague, a guy called Philip. Didn't speak much English, spoke really good German though, and we got on really well, quite similar. He's about to study maths out here in Berlin, and obviously I study physics, so we had a fair amount in common. We had a very, very quiet shift, and so we downloaded chess on the iPad that we use as a till and played that for half an hour. I was not winning, let's just put it that way, so I'm really glad that the customers decided to turn up and we never finished. So technically never lost, was going to, but we don't know that for sure, so I could have pulled it back, even though he had a massive advantage. So yeah, that was Monday. Monday was fine. We ended up just locking up. He was really good at everything, but there were some things that he just didn't seem to know, so he clearly hadn't locked up that often, but everything was fine. We didn't finish super late. Everything just went okay, so that was all good. The more I think about what I need to talk about in this video, the more I realise that there is a lot to talk about. So some things I might have to skim over, or this will just end up being a longer video and you can just skip through the bits that you want to and not want to watch. So yes, that all happened on Monday. Monday was fine. Tuesday I then had work for church and work was all fine and doing all of that stuff, and basically all the work stuff is exactly the same as it was last week, spreadsheet stuff, just still collecting data and that's all. But the really interesting and I guess challenging thing about Tuesday was I had a meeting with Christopher, who's kind of like my overseer and or mentor figure while I'm out here doing my internship, and he's had many interns in the past, and he is really great in the sense that he likes to take time to make sure that he catches up with his interns at least once a week. So we have a meeting, he asks me how life stuff's going, how work stuff's going, just really a general check-in, and we've been having lots of conversations about me in terms of the way that I work, the way that I overwork, the way that I strive to achieve, and kind of the effect that has on my life and also on, I guess, my walk with God and my relationship in all of those areas, and just a whole bunch of different things. And so we were ending up having a whole bunch of conversations about how I'd been getting less sleep and how sleep was something that I'd been sacrificing and how I'd been striving to just get so much done and it was beginning to burn me out. And so he basically challenged me to look into what the Bible says about rest, and to, as well as that, to actually rest these weeks. And so based off that kind of meeting and ideas that I was throwing in as well, I kind of set myself, and he set me the challenge as well, to get at least 8 hours sleep. I set the challenge of I want 8 hours from when my head hits the pillow in the evening to when my first alarm goes off in the morning. So I'm a bit of a snoozer, so I like to have an alarm go off and snooze and just kind of wake up slowly over a period of about half an hour in the morning, which is what I like. So that means that I need like 8.5 hours before I have to get up when I go to bed, which for me means going to bed a lot earlier than I normally do, because my body likes to go to bed late and I'm very productive and I like doing things later in the evening. So that has been something that I've been trying this week, and it's had its ups and it's had its downs, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. But that was one thing that I was challenged by, and the other thing was to make sure to try and have a bit of quiet time and read my Bible every morning before whatever it is that I'm doing for the day. So on the days when I have the cafe, that's relatively easy because I don't have to leave until 11 o'clock, so I could in theory read my Bible at 10:30 in the morning and still stay up really late the night before and get my 8 hours sleep. But on days when I have church and I have to be there at 9 on Sunday, or when I'm working in the church office and I have to be there at 9 as well, those days require me to get up more like 7 o'clock in the morning, so I still have time to read, which means to get those 8 hours sleep I need to be hitting the pillow at like 10 in the evening, between 10 and 11, which a bit more challenging for me. So that was really kind of challenging for me to realize that I'm not always going to be able to do what I want to do, because the way that my brain works is I have all these things that I want to do, which at the moment are all the work that I'm doing for the church and the cafe, learning German, also doing some physics reading and studying ready for next year, as well as all the other things that I want to do in terms of TV shows I might want to watch on Netflix and stuff like that, and running and everything that I'm trying to fit into my life. And it's not possible to do everything that I want to do every day. And my solution in the past would be do it all anyway and get less sleep and burn out and get less and less productive. But Christopher and out of our conversation, I was challenged to not do that and to actually sacrifice some things, prioritize the important things such as sleep and reading my Bible, and then realize that it's okay to not do everything every day. And it's actually been quite freeing. It's challenging, but it's quite freeing because I'm sleeping more and getting better sleep, which means I'm more awake and I'm more productive when I am doing things. And it's just, yeah, it's good, but it's hard. So that was Tuesday. So Wednesday then was my first day of doing that, and I did go to bed, got like 9 hours sleep because my body clearly really needed it. And then that next day before work on Wednesday, I managed to get up, read my Bible, do some German, and do a bit of physics all before I left. And I felt great. And it was very strange for me to leave the house feeling like I'd already achieved before I went to work. And by doing my German study in the morning that day, I didn't have to do it when I came home from work, so I could come home and do other things and not have to think about fitting that extra thing in. So one, it helped me organise my life a bit, and two, it just chilled me out a bit. So that was good, because I'm a little bit full on when it comes to how much I try and do, and I know that, and I'm trying to address that because I don't want to be the kind of person that people are around and think, oh gosh, he's so intense, I can't handle that. So I'm trying to work on that element of me because it's something that it needs to be done. So that was that. On Wednesday I was then working with my colleague Gizem in the cafe, and she got scammed in the cafe, which I can go into in more detail. If anyone wants to know, they can message me, but it's a fairly long story, and I'm already 7 minutes into this and we're only on Wednesday, so I'm going to move on, but that was unfortunate. Everything's okay though, everyone's fine, everything's okay, so we'll move on from that. And then we come to Thursday, and so Thursday I was working in the office again. My work was a little bit lighter on Thursday, and Christopher and I had a check-in meeting, and we were talking about my resting and how it had been going, another nice little meeting, and that was good. And it was nice to be able to kind of actually say, yeah, I've been getting a little bit more sleep and it feels good and I feel better in myself. So that was, yeah, good to kind of begin to see progress of that. And then Christopher was really great in the sense that I didn't have loads and loads of work to do that afternoon, so I spent that afternoon studying some German, because that's a good thing for me to be pushing into, and practicing, so I don't always have time every other day to do loads and loads. So that was good. And then he let me go a little bit early because the way he saw it is that I do the slides for Sunday, but I can't do that during my working week because they come to me on a Friday and then I have to do them either Friday night or Saturday. So that's kind of work time, that's not the time that I'm in the office. So I went home early on Thursday, and I think I just relaxed a little bit, chilled, cooked dinner, and had a nice chilled evening, and caught up with my sister and brother-in-law, which was really nice because it had been a while since I'd done that. So that was Thursday. Then roll on Friday, which I'm now no longer doing the early shift, as I mentioned in my other vlog, so good, I get more sleep. And again, I managed to get up at a reasonable time and get some stuff done before I went to work, and it felt good. Then I had work, and work was just so quiet on Friday. We had so few customers, and we managed to, because of that, get loads and loads of the cleaning stuff done really early, and we were done by 6:30, and normally sometimes we run till 7, 7:15 tidying up, because if we have loads and loads of customers, then the shop closes, but we've got to do all the tidying because we haven't had time to do any of it. But when there aren't that many customers, we can pretty much be clean and tidy and ready to go as soon as we shut. So that was nice. And so I managed to come home Friday, managed to get the slides done for Sunday, because they were given to me in both English and German this time, so I had to do no translating, just formatting. So that was nice and quick, and then everything was done and I could just chill out Friday night. Must admit, did go to bed rather late Friday night, but that's the one night that I'm letting myself do that, because I'm taking Saturday now, while I'm in Berlin at least, as my Sabbath, which is another thing that I'm trying to do, is to take a day to rest. So the only thing I'm letting myself do on Saturday is do Duolingo, because I want to keep the streak going, it helps motivate me to do German, and I quite enjoy it anyway, so I don't really see that as work. So other than that, Saturday is completely work-free, no physics, no church stuff unless there's an emergency. So yes, my Saturday was really, really relaxed. I got up, I had some food at a nice cafe nearby, and then I chilled out, played some games with my friend Dan, not going to say that I just chilled. I'm actually going to explain what I did, and then I think I just watched some TV and just, really did very little. But yeah, so that was Saturday, and then that rolls us on to today at church, which is a rather busy Sunday that I've had because I got asked to help out with the kids' work because they were a man or two down and they needed people to help with that. So this week I was on setup officially, so I was the only person doing all the chairs this morning, and the wheelie thing, I have no idea what we call them, the chair wheelie thing that you lean like a stack of 13 on and then you can move them around, was not there, so I couldn't wheel a whole bunch of chair stacks into the room and then dismantle them from there. No, I had to carry the chairs one by one or two by two or whatever I was carrying them from the side all the way into the centre room without having that nice wheelie thing, so that took ages. So I was on chair setup, I was also helping with the welcome team because we're still needing to get a whole bunch of signatures. Obviously I'd been making the slides, and so I had to do some morning things for that to make sure that everything was fine, and then as well as that I was on kids work, so I was a busy bee today, but it was nice. I managed to get lots done, and yeah, everything went fine. Kids work, I do really enjoy doing kids work, but man, it's tiring sometimes because the kids have so much energy, and we decided to play a game today where they had to answer questions that were quite easy, and every time they answered a question correctly, they got a sweet. And we were doing it outside, and there were loads and loads of wasps around outside, which I don't have a problem with anymore, thank you Berlin, you've cured that for me. But all the kids seem to see the wasps and think, let's swat them, and I'm like, no, that's not a good idea. Wasps get angry when you do that, and then they're going to want to sting you, so having to try and prevent kids from slapping wasps, half of which don't speak English, half of which don't speak German, and it's just, it was challenging, but it was good fun, and we got through it. And then this afternoon I went out and got some food with a guy called Tamu from church who is studying out here in Berlin. He's a really lovely guy, and we went and got some lunch at, I think it was called 60s, it was like an American style diner. We were going to try and go to like a shawarma restaurant, but we couldn't find it, so we went to the 60s place and had this incredible but enormous burger at like 4 o'clock, because the way it works with church is pack down happens late, and so we didn't have time to eat until about then, so I haven't had dinner, and I don't know whether I want dinner because I had an enormous burger at 4 o'clock. I might, I don't know, make a salad or a sandwich or something in a little bit, but not just yet. So that was, really nice just to catch up and just hang out this afternoon and chill, and then since then I've come home, done a little bit of work, not breaking the Sabbath rule because that's my Saturday, and about to do some Duolingo and got my coffee and just going to chill for the evening and make sure I'm in bed by 11 because that's what I need to do to get my sleep and my rest. Not that Christopher's going to see this and tell me off, but I'll know, and God will know, and that's the point. So I'm probably going to leave this vlog here. I've probably forgotten something immensely important that happened this week, but I can't think of it right now. So if I do, I'll mention it next week. Only 3 more vlogs to go, which is a bit crazy. So I have done 3/4 of my vlogs, and I'm 3/4 of the way through my time, which is a bit mental, which means I should probably start thinking about uni. And I've forgotten like everything that we studied last year, so I need to remember all that again. So hopefully that'll all sort itself out. Anyway, I hope everything is good where you are, and I will speak to you next week. Bye.